Hello, beautiful children of the stars. Today, I'm going to introduce you to my Arcturian spirit guide, Gandalf. And using my own example, you're going to learn what types of spirit guides there are, how they can serve us, how we can meet them, how we can communicate, and you will learn a little more about that specific energy signature of our beautiful Arcturian light beings. You are divine. Welcome back. If you are new, welcome here to my channel. I hope you have joined this channel and subscribed, hit the notification bell. And if you want to know more about your spirit guide team, maybe I can help you with that. The link is in the description box down below. Okay, now let's get into it. Gandalf, yes, you heard right. Gandalf is the first spirit guide that I ever met. So with this story today, you will be able to connect and open up a little more and perhaps get a closer sense of connection and communication to your own spirit guides. So the first time Gandalf came to me was about 7 or 8 years ago. And this was the very first spirit guide that came to me. And at the time, I didn't even know about all this Starseed stuff. I had no idea. I was in Las Vegas. That's fitting, isn't it? Some of you may have heard of Michael Newton, Journey of Souls, Destiny of Souls. He's a hypnotherapist who used to take people into the in-between lives. So I was training for that, and I was in deep hypnosis and journeying into my soul's home, what I call heaven. Okay, that's what we did in that training. And this was the first time I was going there. I had been a hypnotherapist only for about half a year. I'd just been certified. I'd worked with a lot of clients already. But this was the first time that we went to that place in between our lives. Think about it. The soul is eternal, multidimensional. And most of the life of the soul takes place not in incarnations, but in between our lives. So think about what your soul does in between all the lives. Where does it go? What does it do? Most of the life that we live as a soul is actually in between lives, and our incarnations, I see them as kind of little safaris going down onto the planet or onto different planets to experience the body, right? So this was a training to journey into that life in between lives. So I was journeying through time and space. And when you go into your life between lives, basically when you're going through the gates of heaven, right? Heaven is where you live up there. It's your soul's home. There's a gate that opens. And there's a gatekeeper that meets you, that has to let you in. And from far away, I saw a figure coming, and then I saw this big hat. I was like, oh, this is strange. This big hat, and this figure came closer and closer. And it was Gandalf the Grey from Lord of the Rings. And I started laughing. I was going, ah! I was like so happy. I was like, it's Gandalf! It's a wizard! Can this be? This wizard, I knew it was Gandalf the wizard, came closer and came right up to me. Like, it's me. And I asked, are you my gatekeeper? He said, yes, I'm your gatekeeper. I said, are you Gandalf? He said, yes, I'm Gandalf. So I was, from then on, I thought, wow, like this work is the best. This is so much fun. I was having the time of my life. And I realized that all the stories, the fantasy, the movies, whatever is in the realm of the human imagination is real. Why do you think people love wizards or unicorns or fairies or mermaids so much? It's because they're real. They exist out there somewhere. And Gandalf exists. Gandalf is real. And of course, you know, the Starseeds who come in as spirit guides, they have a very big sense of humor, and they like to present themselves as archetypes or as certain figures that you relate to. They want you to feel comfortable. So that day I found out that everybody, every single one of you, has a gatekeeper spirit guide. All right? A gatekeeper spirit guide is there to allow certain information into your life at certain times when you're ready for the next level of spiritual awakening, your gatekeeper will let through the information. Your gatekeeper will bring about synchronicities for you to find out. So my making the choice of taking this training, going there and having my gatekeeper say, yes, come in. The gates of heaven are open for you. Come in. That was the time that was right for me to up-level my understanding and my spiritual awareness a little more. And Gandalf, my gatekeeper, was right there with me. So what he did was he led me through the gates of heaven, and I entered heaven. I've been to heaven, guys. I have. He led me to meet my soul group, and I saw my soul group. 12 beings of light, and my mother was right there. So I met my soul group. I met my council of elders, and I went to that place where I chose this incarnation. I went to the Hall of Records. I didn't know it was the Akashic Records back then. I didn't know that word. I went to the Hall of Records where I could look through my book of life and see different things. So Gandalf, my gatekeeper, took me all through these different places. And I must say, up there, it's very beautiful. I believe that heaven is a high dimensional earth, just as we human beings are here in the body, and our spirit, our soul, is basically a different higher form of us. So heaven is a different higher form of Mother Gaia, because we live on Mother Gaia here, and up there in heaven we live on the soul of Mother Gaia. So I saw beautiful marble halls, I saw fields, I saw streams of energies. So Gandalf was the gatekeeper that accompanied me. So for your gatekeeper to do his or her work properly, it's important that you listen, that you use your intuition, that you don't push or force things that are not meant to be. And if you are very aligned, you will know this. And your gatekeeper will give you intuitive downloads, will open doorways for you, will make it easy for you, or others will remain closed. Things won't work out if you're not meant to be there to get that information. I also feel that your gatekeeper will be there when you transition from heaven back down into a human body and your soul goes back up to heaven. I feel your gatekeeper is there watching over what's happening, making sure you come to the right place, accompanying you. And what you can do for yourselves, those who are watching, you can call in your gatekeeper. You can meditate, call in your gatekeeper spirit guide. Ask that spirit guide to come forward and show themselves so you can start a conversation, so you can start knowing who this person is. So Gandalf also has a second role in my spirit guide team. He is also the chief guide in my Akashic Records. So he's my Akashic Records team boss, so to say. And this is a little bit of a similar role than the gatekeeper. So when I started working with the Akashic Records and I got initiated and I asked my Akashic Record team to step forward. And this is a beautiful thing for you to know. If you want to know who your guides are, all you have to do is go into meditation and ask them to step forward and be completely open, and they will come to you. They will. Spirit guide channeling is actually really easy because they're actually there. You don't have to access some deep memories or go there. They're actual real beings. They're souls that just can't wait to boom, come into your consciousness. So when I was initiated and asked my spirit guide team in the Akashic Records to step forward, 4 souls showed up. So I usually see them as lights. 1, 2, 3, 4. I see the lights. So they're there in my consciousness, 4 lights. And then I ask each one to step forward and then I see who it is. So I asked, Akashic Record Guide number 1, can you please step forward? And boom, in came Gandalf. I was like, Gandalf! And he was like, and at that time I had learned about starseeds. At that time, I had learned about the different types of starseeds. I had worked with clients. I had experienced this. And when I ask a guide to step forward, I pretty much immediately perceive what starseed origin they are, what divine gifts they have, what they're for. The information comes through. And Gandalf stepped forward. I said, "You're Gandalf." And I said, "What's your starseed origin?" And then this knowing came. This knowing came in, Arcturian. And I was like, and I had goosebumps. I had goosebumps. And I looked at him. He looked a little bit of, he emitted like this light blue energy. And I was like, "You're Arcturian, aren't you?" And he went like this. And I was like, wow, wow. And everything started to make sense. You know, the Arcturians, like I said in my last video, they are so wise. They are so high vibrational. They know. They are wise. They're intelligent. They are calm. They are centered. They're grounded. They're protective. They are such a beautiful high vibrational soul group. And for my gatekeeper to be an Arcturian really made sense, because they know all about levels of consciousness, what is appropriate, what is not. They're perfect, I would say, administrators of things as well. So he turned out to be my chief Akashic Records guide. And he is the one, when I go into the Akashic Records, when I open someone's record, the first thing that I do is I look for Gandalf, and he's standing there. I always see this big round marble basin kind of thing, but very modern, where like in Star Wars, you know, where they like this visual thing pops up like a 3D kind of hologram or holograph, where I see things, and he's there standing there kind of making it happen and operating this thing. And he's the one watching over everything, and he's allowing things through. So the information that I'm allowed to get goes through Gandalf, my Akashic Record main guide. So he is also being gatekeeper for my Akashic Records, right? For the Hall of Records, where I gain information about myself, all my clients, all the people I work with, Mother Gaia, the universe, history, planets, everything. So he is there making sure that the correct information comes through. And I know this. So he plays a huge role in my life. And of course, this Arcturian energy, like I mentioned before, is an energy that makes you feel safe, that makes you feel well taken care of, that exudes like a calm kind of confidence, like holding a space that is so real and grounded and true and magical at the same time. Obviously, he's a wizard, but that combination of intelligence, magic, all-knowingness, that is the Arcturian energy. And that's what Gandalf exudes, or that's what Gandalf embodies when he is there in my Akashic Records, holding space for me to do my work. And I do this work every single day, and it's the work I love doing most. I love nothing more than going into the Akashic Records and channeling information and working with people and clearing karma. And Gandalf, the Arcturian gatekeeper, Akashic Records chief guide, is right there guiding me, helping me, watching over me, holding space for me all the way. So you can imagine, that's why I love the Arcturian energy so much, because I work with this energy every single day. So that's the second role that Gandalf plays. And I bet you're wondering, who are the other Akashic Record guides? Are you going to tell me? I will tell you. When I asked the second guide to step forward stepped an Alpha Centauri, dark blue, powerful centaur. Okay, now he presents himself as man or centaur, and he's the one to keep me straight, to make sure I don't I don't break any rules or laws or appropriateness when I'm working with clients. He's like there representing law and order, divine law and order. So he's there a little bit stern, and he always goes like this when I say thank you. And he's there, he's kind of like the bodyguard. He's standing there like this usually, you know, like very still, watching and making sure. And he keeps me on track. I know he does. And he's very protective. I know that he protects me too. When that Alpha Centauri is there, No negative, no draconian, nothing can get to me. I stay on the path and I have protection around me wherever I journey in the Akashic Record. So he's there. The third Akashic Record guide, I said, please step forward. And forward swam a beautiful, bright mermaid from Mintaka, the belt of Orion, right? A Mintakan, beautiful, third eye, psychic being that's helping me see clearly and channel everything. She's the clairvoyant one. She's the one who helps me get the information in. And her name is Red Rose. By the way, the Alpha Centauri is called Ananda, right? So you can see kind of the names and the archetypes and the fables, it's all true. And they're presenting themselves to me like this because that's what I resonate with. Since I was small, I've loved everything to do with fantasy and Star Wars and Lord of the Rings and all that. It resonated to me. It was so real, and it is. Okay, the fourth Akashic Spirit guide that stepped forward is, I said, Akashic Record guide number 4. Can you please step forward? And forward stepped a Pleiadian woman dressed in green with the name of Captain, right? Captain. And she's the one who jumps with me into the wormholes and travels through the universe and takes me to planets and galaxies and places and past lives. She journeys with me through space and time. So she's the captain who leads my ship. Well, I fly without a ship. I usually just take her hand and we just jump in and we fly through space, right? So that is a Pleiadian spirit guide, because since this is story time, those who are new, I embody Pleiadian energy mostly in this lifetime. So the Pleiadian energy for me is like what I embody most from the energy signature, but I am a parallel dimension soul, firstborn origin, so I've lived in the parallel dimensions. But I've also incarnated on Arcturus, actually more lifetimes than in the Pleiades. So the Arcturian way of being is within me too, but the energy that I embody, that energy signature, I feel is more Pleiadian than anything else, right? So those are my 4 Akashic Record spirit guides. Gandalf's third position or third role in my spirit team is this. He is number 1 of my Galactic Council of 12. Now, I do have a Galactic Council up there, and I met them when I was going up in my visions into a light ship. And the first time I did this, I was led there by one of my personal spirit guides, who's also an Arcturian named Elrond, looking very different. He looks like a blue person out of the movie Avatar. So this other Arcturian, who is on my personal inner team, my intimate team of spirit guides, he actually took me up because he is also the captain of that spaceship. And Elrond likes to take me by the hand. He takes my hand like this. So when he looks at me, I go up to him and he takes my hand, and just me taking his hand like this into mine takes away all the stress. And then I feel the connection to him. And I know that Elrond and me have had many incarnations together on Arcturus. And I know that him and me have been together. Him and me are intimate, I would say. Well, we were together. We were a couple. We were a couple many, many times. So him and me have a very intimate soul connection. And I knew this when I went like this with his hand. I felt the love. I felt the deep soul connection with him, with Elrond. So when he's there, taking me through the spaceship, taking me to that place where we look down on Earth, he just helps me, any anxiety, any stress that I have, just to take that away. So Elrond was the one who took me up into that spaceship. And when I was there in that ship of light, looking out at the universe, looking at the fleet of Arcturian ships, zapping the earth, doing work, helping us here, helping us as much as they are allowed to, all right? When he was taking me looking out into the universe, and then taking me around the ship and into a main room where I saw a long table and 12 beings around it. I knew I'm supposed to sit there. This is my Council of Light, my Galactic Council of Light that I am a member of. And I sat down at that table, that long table, with those 12 beings of light. And I thought, wow, this can it get any better than this? And I asked the first council member to show him or herself, because I usually always see just the light beings, and then I ask, show yourself or step closer, and then they come into focus. And guess who was team member number 1, right beside me, sitting right there on the left? Of course, it was, again, Gandalf, the Arcturian. So Gandalf the Arcturian is number 1 in my Council of 12 up there. And we work together. We do missions together. And each member of the council is of a different starseed origin, looks different, has a different role. And it's the most beautiful thing when you're sitting there seeing your galactic team. And it's such a feeling of connection and purpose. And these types of experiences have truly changed my life. And knowing that I'm connected to such a high vibrational spirit guide team, especially to have someone like Gandalf at my side working with me, finding that I'm important enough and that my soul is, I would say, high vibrational, important enough for him to even be there, to be in my presence and to work with me. That is the most beautiful, uplifting feeling that you can imagine. And it helps me feel confident. And whenever I'm feeling bad, when I'm thinking, what am I doing? Why am I here? Am I good? Am I doing good work? All I have to do is just think of my Council of 12. I just think of them, and they all come in, and they're there, and I'm sitting there again at that table, being part of this beautiful council with all these light beings where we're looking down. The table turns into this viewing window where we look onto Mother Earth, and we see what's going on, and we plan, and we talk, and we connect. Then I know why I'm here. Then I know that I'm good, that I'm going to be okay, that I'm doing my work, and that I shouldn't be anywhere else than right here, right now, doing this work in their name. So, Gandalf, yes, number 1, the Arcturian Spirit Guide right there in my council, my Galactic Council. And by the way, Elrond has the place right opposite me. So it's a long table. I'm number 12. Number 1 is Gandalf. 2, 3, 4, 5. Number 6 is Elrond, the Arcturian as well. So that is the story of Gandalf, the Arcturian. So if you resonated with this, any of this, please, I encourage you to go and look for your own counsel, look for your own spirit guides, ask them to come forward wherever you have had visions or memories or feelings or presences. If you feel, wow, I have a counsel too, go into meditation and ask to be shown, ask to be taken there, ask your spirit guides to come in. Right now, you can do a little meditation and say, please, Arcturian spirit guides or one spirit guide, come in. I want to see you. Show yourself to me. Take me where I need to go. Okay? And they will. They'll come. They'll come. And to help you do that, I'm going to do a very small little Arcturian activation for you. Okay? Just 1 minute. Quiet. The Arcturians love us so much. They love us. They're there for us. They want to help us. They want to help us heal, overcome, open up. And they're there for you if you want them. If you want to open up to the Arcturian energies, call them in. They will come and they will help you too. Thank you so much for being here.